Welcome back to Life on Two Wheels. In this episode, I'm taking you back in time to the birth of my life on two wheels. That happened in Victoria, British Columbia, and I think there's a lot to learn from what I experienced on that day many years ago. I say there's a lot to learn because honestly it changed my life. I followed a dream that I had had for a long time. It took a little bit of daring, and I think there's a lesson in there for you, that if you follow your dream, it may open up similar worlds of opportunity the way my experience in Victoria all those years ago opened up my life. What you see in the clip playing in the background is my original commute. That was a 30-kilometer commute along beautiful, beautiful lakeshore roads all the way into the downtown core where I worked at the time. I still have such fond memories of those commuting experiences. They transformed the beginning and the end of my workday into just a marvelous experience, a liberating experience, a beautiful way to begin and to end each workday. When I was in Victoria, I took the opportunity to have a stroll down to the waterfront where my life on two wheels began. This is downtown Victoria, and this is a very special place for me because this is where, in a sense, my grand adventure truly began. And I'm just going to take a few minutes to share that with you. So come along with me. We're headed down to the harbor right in front of the Empress Hotel. Today is Easter Sunday, and it was on a Sunday back in 2008 that I found myself in beautiful downtown Victoria. I was attending a conference and staying at the Empress Hotel. And I had a Sunday afternoon off. I've told this story on my blog, and there's going to be a link to that story in the show notes. And I had this Sunday afternoon right across from the Empress Hotel. I doubt they're there today, but they were certainly there then. It was in the month of August, so the tourist season is not really underway here. I'm sure they'll show up later. But there were booths or kiosks, and they were renting two different kinds of motor scooter. One was kind of an electric, more of an e-bike and less of a motor scooter. And the other was, I want to say it was a 49cc Yamaha, maybe a Honda. I'll put in a link, it might be the same link actually, to that bike, or I'll put a photo into the video. And I struggled, as you'll read in the blog, as to whether I should go out on a limb and rent that bike, take the chance of killing myself, which my wife would never have forgiven me for. But I took the chance, and I spent a truly glorious afternoon riding as far up the coast along Dallas Road as I possibly could. And it was that moment that my adventure began. That's what gave me the bug, convinced me that it was possible that I could buy a motor scooter and commute to work without killing myself, without taking too much of a chance. And so we're going to kind of retrace my steps from that fateful day. So back in 2008 on that Sunday, this is where I was staying. This is the Empress Hotel in Victoria, and it's right across the street, or kitty corner, from the Legislative Assembly, or the Parliament building for the province of British Columbia, which is right over here, as you can see. And then right across the street from the hotel is this harbor. And you can see there's, even at this time on Easter Sunday, there's quite a bit happening down here in the harbor. So I came out of the hotel, and after convincing myself that I would not die, and I walked down the steps that you'll see in a second and headed a little bit further away from the hotel, down on the wharf, and you'll see where I rented that little gas motor scooter on that day. That's good advice. You got to get away from the things that make you sad. I'm sure that's what that guy's doing. They have these adorable little water taxis. And when I was here, there was about 5 or 6 or 7 of these things. And they would do a little parade in the harbor, played some music, and they did a little water ballet of tiny little cute water taxis. Very, very endearing. 2008 was a long time ago, 9 years ago. Happened in my imagination, the scooter rental place was over there, but as I'm down here, I realize that wasn't the case. Defective memory, but I do know where it was now. So the scooter rental place was set up somewhere in this parking lot. I think I looked so nervous renting that thing that the attendant was worried that I was going to have a terrible catastrophic accident with it. So he made me do an impromptu road test where I left I left the scooter rental place, but if memory serves, it was about right here, and he had all his bikes lined up here, and as a test he asked me to ride over to that wall, make a U-turn, and ride back to him. Amazingly, I passed that test. I didn't drop the scooter, and I hopped on that thing after learning how its basic operation, and I rode up that ramp right over there and then headed over. My first stop, because I was starving, was over at Barb's Fish and Chips, where Susan, Andrew, Anushka, and I had lunch the day before yesterday, which you can't see from here, but it's over there across the harbor and just on the far side of those taller buildings that you see. So that's where my scooter adventures began, my life on two wheels began, and that's all for today's episode of Life on Two Wheels. Be sure to come back to Life on Two Wheels. Got lots in store for you, lots of amazing adventures, lots of interesting stuff, challenges for me and challenges for you. So take care. Don't forget to subscribe and follow the link to the Life on Two Wheels website, where you'll find the show notes and a ton of other stuff.